My name's Kevin Ross. I fight for Bellator kickboxing at 145. Originally saw it on ESPN back in 1994 when I was 14 years old, and I was hooked right away. I started, when was it, 2003 with Master Toddy in Las Vegas. That was straight Muay Thai from trainers that were from Thailand. So it was very authentic, very old school training. CSA is more of a hybrid gym, an MMA gym, a kickboxing gym. There's great Muay Thai here, but it incorporates all those other styles as well, which has helped me adjust into the kickboxing realm. You know, that straight Thai style doesn't really work out so well when it comes to kickboxing. So this is the ideal gym for me as far as kickboxing goes. You know, I think in Muay Thai there's just a different mentality. Compared to a lot of the other sports, you'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere. I mean, that's the way I came up. You know, it's not a widely kind of accepted mentality, and I think a lot of people, particularly nowadays, are just picking and choosing their fights. You know, I just watched this behind-the-scenes thing on the Canelo Triple G fight, and they were kind of saying how that was a throwback to the golden era where you'd fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, and to me, that's the difference between Muay Thai and a lot of other sports, is we fight to fight. We fight not for wins and losses, but for the experience to test ourselves. So you have people with tons and tons of fights, but they also have tons of losses as well. You know, in Thailand and in Thai boxing, you rarely ever ask people what their records are. You just ask them, how many fights do you have? How many fights do you have? Because it's about the experience of the whole thing. It's not whether you're undefeated or any of those things that seem to be what people focus on these days. And I think that's what's missing with a lot of fighters and a lot of organizations, is they're too focused on that aspect, where the fight in itself should be the thing that gets the most emphasis, and what the fighters will get more out of that, as well as the fans.
So how many fights do you have?
I have like 65 fights, I think. Most of my fights have been overseas, even very early on. I mean, I started my pro career well, I guess that's not overseas, but in Guadalajara, Mexico. You know, Japan, Thailand, China, Cambodia. I've fought all over the world. I've only had a handful of fights actually here in the States. You know, in the early years when it was so under the radar, it in a lot of ways it was a positive thing, because the only people in the sport were in it because they loved it. You know, it was tough because there was no publicity, there was no sponsorships, there was definitely no money. So in that aspect it was tough, but it was a lot purer back then, I would say. So with the growth of it, as nice as it is, you still have to take that other side too, which is maybe people not in it for the same reasons that people were back in the day. So it's good and bad. I love to see it grow. I love to be a part of it growing, and I always knew this was somewhere it would get eventually. I never really thought it would get there while I was still fighting, so it's pretty surreal.
Another left hook. The effects of his leg kick. Solid kick to the body.
I'm gonna be fighting for the inaugural, what is it, lightweight? Something like that. Bellator. World title, kickboxing world title, against what's that dude's name? I don't even know his name. Some Italian, Domenico, something or other. I'm bad when it comes to opponents because I don't really ever study them much. You know, that's never really been my thing, and that really comes from just the way I came up. Was it doesn't really matter who's across from you, you're gonna fight them. You know, I'm not hand-picking people. I'm not over stressing about who it is or what it is. I'm getting ready for me. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do in there, not who's in front of me, because that could change anyway, you know, or that person could fight differently. So for me, it's never really been about who's across from me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't fought in the Bay in almost 10 years, so to fight for the title and to fight here, it's gonna be great. So close to home in San Jose.